So let us now go ahead and let us try to do some of the typical PowerShell related scripting tasks that an administrator would do to manage their Windows systems. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open a fresh script. I'm going to close the previous scripts that I have. And we are going to start creating some scripts that will be used. Put it over here on the desktop. Okay. So some of the common tasks that you would need to do, you may require to firstly print. Okay, I'm just going. Print process information and identify their utilization. And for that, you would go ahead and use get WMI object 32 process. You may need to filter. So you can go ahead and you can take this input from the prompt from another user. And then you can extract the information. So you can say format table handle count, virtual size, user mode time, kernel mode time, process ID, name, all the different types of parameters you can go ahead and you can extract. So let me save this script and then let us run it. Okay, so to run it, you need to also supply it with a argument. So let me say, so let me go into CD desktop, and then I'll say /script, and let me go ahead and let me open a process name to be able to go ahead and provide it. Notepad is the process, right? So because it needs a, okay, I don't want to print the details. Okay, let me just go back. So let us just try to first do this command. Okay, copy, right? Okay, so it is right now listing all the different types of process names, and I want to go ahead and I want to just filter based on the argument that I provided, but let me pick up a name first. So let me just go up, let me pick up one name. So so I can see the kernel mode, which is what I want to extract. OS name. So the process name is the one that I need. So let me go ahead and so the name of this process is system idle process. Okay, so let me copy this and let me provide it as a argument and see what happens. Okay, so /script okay, and there I can go ahead and I can identify, but I need to provide the full process name. If I don't provide the full process name, it will not go ahead and so, and I need to pick up the process name. I need to know the exact process name which is there. So it is called, I think it is called notepad.exe. That's why the notepad word was not working. So I could do /script1 notepad.exe to extract the information. So this is the first of my scripts. What if I want to create a new script? Let me call this again script 2. And let me say, you know what, let's actually just refine the previous query, because I think, since it's not prompting me with the details, it is a little bit. So I will say that this script will print process information on the screen for a process that prompted the user to supply the information. Okay, so which means it is prompting the user. Right now I'm passing it as an argument. So basically I will say, let me say read host, because I need to go ahead and I need to extract this information. What process would you like to query? Then I will say get. So actually I will use the same set of commands, but I will go ahead and I will simply get this information from the team before I went ahead. Okay, so let me go ahead and let me copy it. Okay, and I will place it over here. Okay, and I will just change this to ENS instead of ARCs. All right, so I can go ahead and I can now prompt the user first. So let me now run this. And can you see now it prompts the user for the argument, and I will say, give me notepad.exe. And now if you notice, this is more intuitive instead of the previous one where I had to go ahead and I had to provide information. Okay. Similarly, I can actually go ahead and I can run different type of functions. For example, I may, let me create a new script and I can save it again. I'll call it script 3. I'm going to, so for this, I will again put a comment. I want to say, for example, open iTunes, set the volume to 70% and play the default playlist. So I can go ahead and I can do that. I can first create an object of iTunes. So new object iTunes dot application. And then play the default playlist. Let me go ahead and let me try that. But it appears I don't have iTunes. So let me go ahead and let me take com object here. So I'm going to do com dot, or in fact, let us do, instead of this, let us open a web browser, because I do know that opening the web browser would be much better. Okay, so let's go ahead and because I know iTunes is not there in my system, right? So iTunes, yeah, I don't have iTunes. Okay, but then let us go ahead and let us use, so let us do, if we don't have iTunes, let us install it. And for that, let's take Chocolatey. All right, so let us install Chocolatey for installing our, so it's a app, by the way. So install iTunes. So let us see if we can use Chocolatey. Okay. Let me go ahead and let me use Chocolatey for this. So Mm, so let me do maybe Choco install. Okay, so let me do um, Choco install iTunes. You see if it runs. Okay, again, it is having an issue. Okay, so let me run it on the prompt to check Choco. First of all, Choco. Okay, so Choco is not allowed. So I need to first install Chocolatey. Um, I need to first install the, so Chocolatey is like a, okay, Chocolatey is like a package manager. So to do that, I need to go ahead and I need to install it. So let me use a script to install it, but the name cannot be resolved because I think there's a problem with the internet over here. Okay, so let's fix that first. So for that, let us go ahead and let us check the settings for this. And I think it's the, let us use the default switch for this and see. Okay, let's go back. Command prompt. Okay, so it looks like the default gateway is unavailable. So for that, let us view the network properties. Okay, so let us go here. Let's go to the Ethernet. Oh, now I have a pipa. Okay. Okay. So now I have a pipa. So that's not good either. Let us start it just to see what happens. And I'll check again. All right, so it doesn't think it is still working, but let us then go ahead and let us change it to so let me go back and let me change this to back to the external virtual switch, which I believe will get me the power that I need. Yes. Okay, so now it has gone ahead and it is connected to the internet. Okay. All right. So now that we have done this, let us go ahead and let us first execute this command. So the one to install Chocolatey, and it looks like we have been able to go ahead and we have been So it's showing that the connection is a little slow, but it is installing a package manager called Chocolatey. And then using the package manager, it will go ahead and it will start installing iTunes. All right. So as a system administrator, you would be going ahead and you would be required to do these different tasks. Let's just wait for it to finish installation. Still installing. Okay. All right. So while this is installing, let us further go in and let us examine more of these scripts. And okay, some error is but a reboot is required. Okay. Mm, okay. So let me do restart computer. Okay, and it will go ahead and it will restart. Mhm. And once again, let's go back now and let us just install install iTunes, and let's see how we can go ahead and we can run these scripts. Okay, so we were here. Let us now do Choco install iTunes. Okay, I think it is called. I think we did install it, but let's see what we need to go ahead and we need to do to be able to have Chocolatey installed properly. So let me install again. Okay, let us install again. And it is extracting. And, mhm. Okay, so looks like I need to run this PowerShell from an elevated privileges. That's why it is not getting installed. So I'm going to run it again. Okay, I think let's see now. Okay, looks like it has installed. Now let me do Choco install iTunes. And it looks like it is now installing iTunes. Okay. All right. So as a system administrator, you would be required to install multiple different kinds of packages, and not only install, but sometimes you also have to harden. Hmm. So this would be one of the activities you would do. You would go ahead and you would install different kinds of packages, and then sometimes also uninstall packages which are not required. So hardening of the system would be one of the activities you would go ahead and do. So that's exactly what we are also doing. Okay. All right, so it's looking like we still need to go ahead and we need to reboot again for it to work properly. Hmm. Okay, so let us log in back in. All right, so we can see iTunes is now installed. Let us now go into the integrated scripting environment, which is the ISE. And there we can see our script number 3. I'm going to remove this and let us now go ahead and let us try to save this and run this and run this. Again, something is an issue. So it is saying new object com. Okay, let us see if we can go ahead and we can fix this. So for this, let us go and let us just check. Okay, so I'll say new object dot. I think it should be there should be a hyphen remove from here. I think let us try again. Okay. Yeah, and looks like, can you see that it is asking me to accept the agreement for iTunes? I'm gonna say no thanks. And it has gone ahead and it has adjusted the volume to 70%. So it has gone ahead and it is now playing the default playlist or whatever you want to call it. All right. I'm gonna quit it, but you can see that we can go ahead and we can create our script to be able to process these. Similarly, I can create another script. This will open a browser. So let's go ahead and let us try that out. I'm going to create another script. There I will go ahead and I will, let me call it script 3B. So just like I created this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a website. So function open website in default browser. And here I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say string site to open. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say if site to open all right, so you can see over here it is site to open. Then we can go ahead and we can do if test path environment site to open, then dollar site to open is equal to https://google.ca. Okay, because that's what we want to go ahead and have, right? So we want to go ahead and we want to open this site. All right, let me close it. And there we can further go ahead and we can have let me say diagnostics dot process start site to open. All right. And hopefully the site should open. Okay. So I can go ahead and I can run this, say, for example, open website default browser. And let me put HTTPS yahoo.com. All right. So let's go ahead and let us save this. And then let us try to run it. Okay, so a little bit of error. Let us see where. So, okay, I think I need to close this up over here. Let me save it again. I think one step here. So let me save it again. Run it again. Again, there's an issue. So let us see in the browser function here. Oh, I think I forgot to close it. So this needs to be closed too. Okay, so let me close it here. Let me save it and then let me close it. Okay, and it has gone ahead and it has run, but let me see. I didn't see any browser coming up though. Let me clear it. Let me do this. Oh, not here. Let me go ahead and let me just check. Open web browser default. I have kept a string. So parameter was the string site to open. Okay, in fact, we need to go ahead and we need to set it up right here. Okay. Then we have the if condition. Let us place it here. If the site is not open, then if not test path environment site to open is equal to google.ca. Close this here. Must also close this here. Okay. Let me close this. Let me save this. Run it. Okay. And you can see that Yahoo has opened directly from the prompt. All right. So we can go ahead and we can open Yahoo directly from the prompt. All right. So just like we have made this script, we can also go ahead and we can have other scripts. For example, I may need to go ahead and I may need to list the contents of the folder in different colors. So let's go ahead and let's create a script here. Let me call it script 4. And I want to list the contents of a folder. So I will say list is equal to get child item. And I want to sort the object. But for each obj, for each object item in list, if obj item dot attributes contains directory change the color. Similarly, else if obj item dot extension equals dot ps1 have another color. Okay, so I can say $fg is equal to blue. All right. So I can go ahead and I can have another one. So I can say I can use this to have multiple of these decided. So I can, like I have blue, I can have this one for, one is for PowerShell. Let me have, sorry. I will put another one for .exe, and I will give the color as green. Similarly, I can have another one for zip. I can give the color as red. Similarly, I can go ahead and I can have another one for rar, and I can put another color like, again, let's keep it red. I mean, the colors are not important. Else dollar is equal to yellow. Whatever is left over, please mark it as yellow. Okay. And then we can say write host obj item dot name dollar obj item dot length dollar obj item dot last write time foreground color $FGC. Okay, so we can go ahead and we can have, I'm going to save it here, multiple different kinds of scripts. And you can see over here, I have got a different list of scripts with the color because none, these are all, I can actually go ahead and I can make it red just so that you can see the difference, right? So it will now appear red. So I can go ahead and I can create my scripts the way I would like to go ahead and do. All right.